Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting and workshop of the Hyde Park Town Board. Today is Monday, December 20th. Please join me while we pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, this is wonderful to see so many people in our town hall. Wish every meeting was like this. Who knows, maybe that will happen. But welcome everyone, good to see you. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of December 6th and December 13th?
I make the motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So we do have a couple of workshops on the agenda, but prior to that, we do have public comment on resolutions or a matter of town business. And please do me a favor and state your name, your address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. And it is not a question and answer period, but it is a time to express your opinion or a statement of facts. Okay,
Okay.
a very quiet audience. Good, okay. So then we'll go ahead and get started on the workshop, and we're happy to welcome Jesse Chance tonight from the Hyde Park Free Library. Please join us over here and give us an update. And Lynn Ruggiero, of the president of the Board of Directors, is also here. So welcome to you both, and thank you for coming. Hi, nice to see you again, Jesse.
Great to see you.
Good
Nice
evening.
to see Lynn, and pretty soon she'll be sitting right up here in that seat.
Right here, Lynn, here's where you sit.
Keep it warm. Thank you for letting us have,
Speak into the mic if you could.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us to have time to address you again. As you recall, about 7 or 8 months ago, we were here, thank you, and we said we'd be back with our report. And we're very pleased to say that the project Turning Outward at the library is completed with its first phase. And the goal in our minds, Jesse's going to tell you more specifically, are to try to incorporate the whole town so they have a center which is for everybody, because we don't see enough of people from 9G corridor. So that's who we're hoping to be able to bring in with things that they want. So one of the main things that we did learn was the people of the town seem to believe that communication is lacking, and they would like some means to communicate with each other what's going on. So we came to understand that there are a lot of things going on, as you guys know from here in your website, but everybody doesn't know about websites and everybody doesn't use them. So we're hoping to be able to work on that as a goal, to find a way to, all the hard work done with the various community groups is available for people to know what's going on, so they could be more involved. So with that, I'll let Jesse talk about the general findings.
So forgive me if I repeat a couple things that Lynn just said, but the purpose of Turning Outward is to gather community input to help the library craft a long-range plan of service that integrates community desires and addresses community needs. With this in mind, we held lots of community conversations and heard many thoughts, fears, and aspirations for the future of Hyde Park. The common themes we were able to identify are that people want a more walkable town with easily accessible common areas where they can interact and enjoy events within a diverse community. They also want to be better informed about events in the town government, and community organizations. We listened to people express a desire for a sewer system, for a town center for community events, for more streetlights and sidewalks, and many other things. They say that Hyde Park needs to focus on developing a community where people can live, work, shop, and recreate all in the same town. They also stress the need for youth programs that make the town more appealing to young families. It would be a wonderful, wonderful world if your public library could just solve all of these problems, but we can't. There's a lot we can do to help, though. As an information organization and traditional social hub, we are well suited to acting as a community center and central repository of local information. In response to some of the things we heard, we are gathering local transportation information like bus schedules and route maps to make available. We are going to be hosting public safety talks from local police and firemen, among many educational programs, and we are expanding our teen programming exponentially. Anything from 0 is exponential. As a staunchly nonpartisan organization, we are a trusted source for information of all sorts. We are increasing our efforts to collect local pamphlets and event information to make available to the public, both physically and on our website. It is not within our power to solve the infrastructure issues that we heard about, but Hyde Park Library, with the help of this community, can become a center for diverse facets of the town to converge where learning, experiential needs, and curiosity are fed. It is our pleasure to serve this great community, and we welcome all and any suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Lynn, and we appreciate your reaching outward. And we're happy to say that a couple of the items that you mentioned we're addressing on the agenda tonight. The walkable town center, common areas where people can meet, and the addition of streetlights and just a more concentrated development. That's been the effort of our town board for 10 years, and everything takes a really long time in government, but as the mayor of Beacon once said, the idea is to have a big vision and take small steps towards that goal, and I think that we've been able to do that, and we're happy to have the Hyde Park Free Library as part of that, and look forward to visiting quite a bit more myself, and we'll be continuing these conversations. So
We look forward to
Thank you.
Board, would
continue.
you do you
Thank
have
you,
any
guys.
question that
Yeah,
you'd like?
I do.
Anything
Yeah,
that you'd
my
like
only
to-
suggestion, the last time you were here, I was kind of brainstorming how to get more participation. And I was thinking maybe if you could work more closely with the school, maybe do like a field trip, like, we do field trips to FDR, maybe it'd be a good idea to do a field trip to the library and get their own library card and start them young, so that way they realize that the library is there and is for them. It's not just the school library, but they also have their library here, so that might be a good outreach.
Great idea.
With
Yeah,
that-
I mean, I think we all sorely miss newspapers. It's been a dearth of information, and really, there's not been a replacement for those. And, we used to have a reporter, John Davis, was here every week and monitoring the town board and the planning board and keeping people apprised of the efforts of both local, all the facets of local government. And, we're not unique in that sense that we essentially don't have a newspaper. And so I don't know, it's going to take Generation Z or someone to really come up with strategies to address that just lack of information. So, but we do appreciate that you're examining it and finding ways to address it. And, Facebook is a good way. We have an active Facebook site, and of course, our town website we redesigned a few years back, and thanks to the volunteers with Ann Weiser, and Neil was a big part of that. And really, people can sign up for the agendas. I think that's a really great way for people to stay apprised of both the planning board and the town board agendas. And just go on the website. What is it, Neil? What page would they go to?
Well, it's right on the front page on the left-hand side. It says sign up for agendas and notifications.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, truly critical. And so one of the things that we've done is that, in addition, of course, to having all our meetings videotaped, but we added them to YouTube so that you can see them at any time. And the minutes are searchable too, right?
Yep.
So that you could actually just, find out the topic you're interested in and search it, and then be led to the video meeting. So that's a good resource as well. And, all these things, if we can combine them, that will continue the information flow.
Well, thank
Okay.
you.
Well, yeah, thank you. Dave is also a member of the library board.
I am. I have another hat to wear after I leave here, and it will be with the board of directors of the library. One positive thing that came out right away was Jesse called me. I asked if we could put a box there to collect the mittens, the gloves, the scarves for the children in school who don't have them. And we've been doing this every year, but we needed a place to, we used to drop them at the town hall at some time, but I asked Jesse if the library would be, and they both said, Lynn and Jesse said, yeah, absolutely. He called me a couple of days ago and said, we need another box, the one we have is full. So, you know, it's fantastic turnout for that alone. And so I think Joanne's bringing another box over, somebody is. And we want to get a picture of that too. So that's turning out right there.
Yeah.
But that's just one small thing, and it's big, really, for us.
Well, libraries are the traditional community gathering place, and so as you expand your improvements, I know that you're working on making your basement ADA accessible, as well as redoing your stacks to make it more user-friendly. So I'm sure people will, you know, become much more familiar with all the great things that are there. So we appreciate that.
Lots of exciting changes coming, but we all need to build stronger partnerships, so this is an exciting start.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Great.
Lynn.
Well,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have our second workshop item, and I want to welcome Jennifer Van Tile again to the Hyde Park Town Board. We're happy to see you again, Jennifer. We're keeping you really busy, and Warren too.
Well, I'm very appreciative that you've given me time on a very busy agenda tonight. And I'm especially happy because it allows us all the opportunity to bring before the public a very important project that we've discussed informally for some time, and we're hoping to bring it forward in the coming year. So I'll first say a few words about the project and then talk about the property where the project is proposed. The project is a combination of assisted living, including enhanced assisted living, and memory care. And I think that these are services that are very needed in every community. And I think the very special thing about this is that the sponsor is Peregrine Senior Living, who is a central New York company, so they're a local company that has a very strong track record in running these types of projects of assisted living and memory care as part of a cohesive project. And I commend everyone to go on their website, Peregrine Senior Living. They talk about the Peregrine Way, which is a very special attention that they give to enhancing the lives of people in memory care, for example, and providing a full range of services for their clients. So the property where we're proposing to locate this project is something that some people might last remember as the club at Hyde Park, if you're that old to remember that project. This is
Michael's
the
behind.
land that is on the north side of St. Andrews Road, and it's very long from west to east and quite shallow from north to south. And interestingly, is zoned in the Belfield Plan Development District. It was part of a site at one time that was together with the roadway and the land south of it, but since the land is now divided by St. Andrews Road, it's a piece of property that's very, very wide east to west. The proposal is in combination of Peregrine as the company running the facility and the landowner, who we refer to as BBL, but the real name of the owners is South Hudson Land, would propose to locate the combined assisted living facility and the memory care facility on approximately 36 acres of the combined 140 acres. And we brainstormed in informal discussions in trying to figure out how to have this work under zoning, and somewhat ironically, a zoning district that allows this use by special permit, so it would be very controlled by the planning board. It requires site plan approval and special permit, would be to rezone the property from the existing Belfield Plan Development District to Greenbelt, which is your most restrictive district. but that district makes sense in this location because much of the land surrounding it is zoned this way. So that is the proposal that we've been discussing, and we're at the very beginning of things because this is a complicated process in the sense that it would require rezoning by the town board. It requires two very important decisions by the planning board. We would need to be discussing with Tad some of the zoning interpretations that would apply to that. And so we're at the very beginning of that, and of course there will be a SECRE review of this. But again, I think it's important and that everyone knows that this project has been discussed. I think it's a great project that will bring much needed services to people in Hyde Park. And on behalf of my clients, I'm very appreciative of the time that the town board and its consultants devoted to the many discussions that we've had to bring this project to the place where it is now.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for that great synopsis, and it's really wonderful always to work with you. You're such a strong, articulating person for your client, but have such a great grasp of our zoning from working here so frequently. And it really is an exciting project. I'm really, really happy about it. And I believe that the resolution that we came up with, or the potential resolution to rezone it to Greenbelt, although, like you say, it's somewhat paradoxical that it would fit within the most restrictive, but because of that use, it really does. So we're looking forward, well, the new town board will be looking forward to that rezoning request, and I know the planning board will be looking forward to reviewing it. And you know, it really is exciting that that hub is developing so very nicely. The Asahi Shuzo plant is progressing very well. The sidewalks went in recently, and they're going great guns. It's really going to be beautiful. And then, of course, we have Tom Mulroy's here with Belfield, and he has a resolution on the agenda tonight. And then with the addition of the Peregrine assisted living and memory care, it's really developing very nicely with uses that will enhance our gateway and are appropriate for Hyde Park. And we appreciate your clients' willingness to kind of work with us and really hear what we were saying and hear what we had envisioned for that area. So I look forward to watching the future development of that proposal and the project.
Well,
So-
thank you very much. And I just add that one thing that I remember in our discussions is we wanted to be sure that the traffic levels from the site would be compatible with some of the residential areas that are there. And we asked Steve Bowman of Peregrine about that, and he said, we wish we had more traffic of more visitors to come to our
That's-
people, but
Yeah.
pointed out that the traffic levels are very, very low, so it would be a very good neighbor to any surrounding residential areas, and again, a great service for all of our families.
Sure, that's a great point, because it is a limited access highway.
Yes.
And so you will need, of course, we discussed the consultation with the county, because they're in control of that. And another project that we have been working on, and we didn't quite get to the finish line, is on the eastern end of St. Andrews, where the town owns a property. And we have been working with Verizon to put a cell phone on that location. And so, again, they have worked with the DPW and the county to assure that that's an adequate use. So it's a rather narrow type of use that can fit in on that highway. So, yeah, and I'm sure the people behind on Farm Lane will appreciate
Right.
that too.
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and if folks will be able to maybe take people out in wheelchairs or whatever, there will be a connection there that will go all the way over to Stop and Shop.
Which
So-
is nice.
Yeah.
So good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming out tonight.
Oh,
on
my
this
pleasure, and
holiday
again,
week,
thanks for giving us
Jennifer.
time on
Always-
the agenda. We've
Thank you.
appreciated working with you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask for a few adjustments to our agenda. The first would be to move the resolution number 15 to number 1.
Can I make that motion?
Don't want to make
Second.
all our police stay here too long, and all in favor?
Aye.
And then the second is to amend resolution number 13. It was slightly changed since we provided earlier, so may I have a motion to amend resolution number 13?
Can I make that motion?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Okay, so unfortunately, Stephen Woodcock was rear-ended today, so he's not feeling perfectly clear in his vision, so you're going to abstain from reading tonight, but,
So
the
I'll start.
burden's gonna be on all of you
I
guys.
got it.
Okay, so Ken wanted to start with number 1, and
Yes.
go ahead.
So this is actually an exciting time for Mike and the police department. I'm sure it's a sad time as well, but it's a new chapter for Officer Straza. So this is Resolution 12-20-15 of 2021. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to acknowledge the retirement of Hyde Park Police Officer Angelo M. Straza.
Second.
Whereas, Town of Hyde Park Police Officer Angelo M. Straza will retire from the Town of Hyde Park Police Department effective December 31st, 2021. And whereas, Hyde Park Police Officer Angelo Straza has provided exceptional service and dedication to the Town of Hyde Park Police Department for over 35+ years. And whereas, Police Officer Straza will be greatly missed by his peers. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Hyde Park Town Board does hereby acknowledge the retirement of Hyde Park Police Officer Angelo M. Straza, and be it further resolved that the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor and Town Board extend their appreciation and gratitude to the Town of Hyde Park Police Officer Angelo Straza for his many years of dedicated service to the Town of Hyde Park.
And I second that?
And can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Woodcock.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
And Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
And then before we send, I'm sure Chief is here, he'd like to say something, and then we
Sure.
also have something from the supervisor that we'd like to give to Officer Straza as well.
Well, you know me well, Ken, I always want to say something. So.
Absolutely.
I just want to start out by thanking the town board. I know this is bittersweet for everyone that you guys are ending your term here. And I always want to, I tell everyone the support that we've received from this board has been incredible. So I thank you, the members of the Town of Hyde Park Police Department. Thank you for your continued support for us for the entire time that I've been involved in the administration, as well as all of you been here for different varying years of service. And I just want to say thank you, and that, you know, anything I can do for you, you know, please, anything we can do together, you know, please do not hesitate to reach out.
I didn't get a
and thank
ticket
you.
yet, so I'll reach out.
Well, we have to talk about something after the first, but we'll talk about that later.
We have your number.
I know where you live, so it's good. And I also want to recognize Joanne Lown for her 35+ years of service with the town. We're losing a lot of history this month, and it's kind of hard when you look at the people that are retiring and moving into the next phase of their life. You know, they take a lot of history with them from this department, as well as the entire town itself, and we're losing a lot of that, you know, institutional knowledge, especially Officer Straza. So when I was in high school, and it feels good for me to say this, when I was in high school, I used to drive by the highway garage and watch Officer Straza pull the police car out of the front bay, back his car in there. I think it was a Chevy Blazer, I think, at the time. Actually, not that I remembered what you drove. He'd back the Blazer into the bay, and then he'd take the car and go out on patrol. And you always knew where to find Officer Straza on Sunday morning around 9 o'clock. It was at Regina Shelley Church, directing traffic in and out of the church. So these were iconic things that you always knew who was on duty when you saw this happening. So when I first started, I leaned on Officer Straza a lot for guidance, to do things right and do things wrong, because he sure told me when I did things wrong. So it's bittersweet now to see him leave and go into retirement. And Carol, I just want to say, from our family now, we're done with him. We're getting him off the So Mike, come on up. Detective Tucker would like to present Officer Angela Straza with a plaque from the PBA.
Thank you for your years of service. Majority of them were also as a board member of the PBA. So as far as representative of the PBA, we'd like to thank you for your service to the town and service to the PBA. And it's an honor to present you with this plaque.
Thank you.
Not much for words, but all I want to say is thank you to the town board. I want to thank Chief Benson for all the years of support. Lieutenant Katcha, Detective Tucker, my fellow officers. I don't know what else to say, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're going to make me cry, too. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're so lucky to have you here as part of our community, and we're just grateful and wish you absolutely the best in retirement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, just want to thank the chief. It's been such a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you.
Just heard a correction from the officer's wife that it's been actually over 36 years.
Joanne made us say 35.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so we're going to start with resolution number 1 now, Mr. Krupnick.
Resolution 1220-1 of 2021, resolution approving budget revisions to the Town of Hyde Park budget for the period of December 2021, budget revisions number 2021-12.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-2 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve the 2021 year-end interfund advances for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-3 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve the 2021 reserve for encumbrances for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Happy holidays.
Resolution 1220-4 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to allow the Town Comptroller to close 2021 capital project funds for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1220-5 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to transfer funds to the Snow and Ice Removal and Road Repair Fund in the Highway Fund.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-6 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to award the bids for the Town of Hyde Park Highway Department for the 2022 contractual services.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-7 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to award the bids for the 2022 materials for the Town of Hyde Park Highway.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1220-8 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to schedule a special meeting for Tuesday, December 28th, 2021.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-9 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to award the Hyde Park, New York State Route 9 pedestrian improvements Park Plaza to Hyde Park Firehouse, Town of Hyde Park, Dutchess County, PIN number 8761.90, contract to A, Colarusso and Sons Incorporated.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And that was the pedestrian improvements that we referred to. Started that project back in 2016. Emily was here and she wrote the grant, right?
Yes, she did.
So-
Thank you, Emily.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Emily.
It's only
Emily.
5 years. But I did have a conversation with someone from DOT today, and they said that Beacon was in the midst of it, trying to complete a project, a TAP project, and theirs has been out there for 10 years.
Well,
Oh, my
So
God.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Resolution 1220-10 of 2021, resolution of the Town Board of the Municipality of the Town of Hyde Park agreeing to maintain, repair, and energize a pedestrian lighting system on or along a state highway within the geographical jurisdiction of the municipality, such highway identified as US Route 9, State Highway 453, County of Dutchess.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And this is extending the pedestrian lighting that is so very nicely decorated, thanks to Caroline, who's here tonight. She and Carl and Rich really took it to heart, so thank you.
Great job.
That's
It'd
great.
be really nice to see that completed.
Resolution 1220-11 of 2021, resolution of the Town Board of the Municipality of the Town of Hyde Park agreeing to own, maintain, and repair related pedestrian facilities and landscaping features on NY Route 9 between Park Plaza and the Hyde Park Firehouse in the Town of Hyde Park, County of Dutchess.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1220-12 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve non-protunct the Division of Local Government Services Winter Webinar Series, Enforcement of Zoning and Other Local Laws, Training, December 14th, 2021, for the Town of Hyde Park Zoning Board of Appeals Secretary, Serena Tushel.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Glad I get to read this one. Resolution 1220-13 of 2021. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to adopt the amended seeker findings statement and approving amended concept plan for the Belfield at Historic Hyde Park, FKA St. Andrews at Historic Hyde Park.
Second.
And do we need a roll call on this? Yes. Donna, could you please do a roll call?
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye with all capital letters.
Councilman Ray.
Aye, aye, aye.
Councilman Woodcock.
An excited aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
And Supervisor Rohr.
Aye. And we have Tom Mulray here, so thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
We appreciate it. It's going to be really nice, and looking forward to that shovel in the ground that Councilman Schneider keeps talking
We're
about.
ready.
And thank you, Jennifer, too, for keeping this all moving forward. And
Larry and Jennifer.
And Larry's here. Hi, Larry. Thanks, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Good.
Thank you, Larry.
And Larry, too?
And
Okay.
thanks to Michael and the planning board. I know a couple members are here tonight for all their diligence. I think it's going to be a fantastic project. Thank you. Okay. I forgot to say thank you to you. Who worked all weekend on it.
You were
Thanks,
blurry-eyed.
Thanks, Warren.
Thank you, Warren.
David, it's you.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Resolution 1220-14 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to acknowledge the resignation of Town of Hyde Park Highway Maintenance Worker Virgil Green.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
We already did 15. Resolution 1220-16 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park police officers Alec Brando and Daniel Ferrara to attend the 3-day New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services Police Field Training Officer course hosted by the Dutchess County Law Enforcement Academy, January 4th through January 6th, 2022, at the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1220-17 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for Town of Hyde Park Police Chief Robert Benson.
Aye.
A second. Dave, you were second.
You wanna
So
second
all
that?
in favor?
Aye.
I did say it.
He said aye.
You jumped the gun there, Dave.
Sorry about that. 8 years, I get confused. Now I read this.
Yes, sir.
Resolution 1220-18 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for the Town of Hyde Park Police Lieutenant Paul Kasiak.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-19 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to renew the Town of Hyde Park's membership in the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance Plan for 2022 and 2023.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 1220-20 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to acknowledge the resignation of Nicole Noakes as a member of the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Commission.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-21 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an extension request with Dutchess County for the 2020 Community Development Block Grant funding for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Department's Senior Center COVID-related safety improvements.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-22 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Clerk and Town Engineer to solicit bids for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Dinsmore Park Playground Improvement Project.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1220-23 of 2021, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve the release of the balance of escrow from the Town of Hyde Park Zoning Board of Appeals according to resolution number 11-2021-E.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so with that, I'll just give a brief update. I already did my swan song a few meetings back, so. But, you know, I did want to let the public know that we had a productive meeting. We invited the incoming board to meet with us, and we did have that meeting last Wednesday. And we also had our town comptroller, Joanne Lown, meet with the new comptroller coming in. And actually, we should give Joanne a round of applause for her. It's just, yeah, Joanne is a repository of knowledge and dedication, so thank you, Joanne. But Joanne was able to meet with Jim Coughlin, the new comptroller, and share a lot of details. At a prior meeting, we discussed the great financial condition that we're leaving the town in, and really proud of that, really proud, so proud of the hard work of the town board, our diligent staff, and the comptrollers, and just really pulling together over a 10-year period to make sure that our town runs correctly, that we have the resources to make sure that we can provide the essential services at the least cost. It's very challenging. One of the paradoxes, my second time using that word tonight, of local government, it can be the most thankless task, but the most gratifying. And it's so gratifying when you can actually solve a problem. But the difficult part is so many are entrenched and so hard to solve. So I know that for Team Hyde Park, it's been a wonderful privilege to be able to solve the problems that we were able to, and to work hard on those that we couldn't. So just again, just hitting the highlights, we are leaving the town in excellent financial shape with many projects in the works, and we'll leave that to the new board, how they address those. But we did receive some assurances that they are interested in completing the work that we have begun. Our TAP A, just as a brief overview, we hatched this plan back many years ago, our commercial hub improvement plan, right, Emily? And that kind of, focused our efforts on how do we revive our commercial centers. And, when people talk about development, they usually talk about filling the empty buildings, and that was our focus, continues to be a priority for us. But we did come up with this three-legged stool of how to address it, and part of it was pedestrian improvements, and we were able to obtain funding for those. And the TAP A we completed completely without any additional funds required locally. And I think that we all agree what an enhancement that is to Route 9. And then we have the TAP B is in progress, and as I mentioned, we've been working on that for many years, and now we have awarded it to Colarusso and Sons, and they'll begin that process in the spring, early spring, so we're excited about that. We were also able to badger DOT into doing the Pine Woods intersection. They promised that since 2006, and so we're happy that they're doing that, and it through no cost to the town. So they like to scare us and said they were going to do it during Fair Week just to see if we were paying attention, and people were paying attention, and but so that's progressing also. You know, and that sewer district thing is still out there. We're wondering who can crack that nut. We've, as Joanne said, every 7 years it comes back like locusts, you know, like who can do this? But it really is, you know, central infrastructure. We all agree. It's just getting it paid for. And that has to be paid for by the property owners, the 110 people that are property owners that would be part of this commercial district. It was not affordable for them, and that's why we pulled the project. You know, it's 21 million. It's probably 22 million because it increases about 10% every year. It's really, really expensive, and I've heard that the county executive has promised the new board 10 million. I don't know why he didn't promise me that, but
We'll take it.
but you know, more power to them. Hopefully, they can get that 10 million bucks, and it's still going to be very challenging. It's still going to be very expensive for the folks because you got the capital costs, and then you have the operation and maintenance costs, and they're both expensive. So, you know, it was we put a gallant effort forth. I'm of the opinion that you can make Hyde Park really beautiful and better without a sewer district. We are giving way too many free passes. That's all you can do. It's not true. You go to other communities, you can fix up your properties. You don't have to keep them completely neglected. Are you going to have dense development, intense and as dense as you could with infrastructure? No, but we can make this town amazing and beautiful even without a sewer district, and I think it's time that we start focusing on that, because it seems unobtainable. So one more try, I think, let's see if we can get that big infusion of cash, capital, and see how you can bring this project onto an affordable level. Bring it to referendum, see if the folks are gonna support it. And if not, really, it's time for people to move on and say, what else can we do? Because if you try and try and try and try over 50, 60 years and you can't get there, that's telling you something, right? You know, so that's just my personal opinion.
Can I just interject a little bit for a second?
Sure.
The project of the sewer, in my opinion, was a great success for this town board.
Mm-hmm.
Because our goal was to figure out how much is it gonna cost and get us to that finish line. We got it to the finish line,
Yeah.
and we realized, the property owners realized it wasn't affordable. But all that work and all the grants and all the time and energy to get to that point is a win. Because before it was always just a pie in the sky. It's like, we need sewer, and the town just doesn't want to put sewer in. You know, we heard that time and time, and we had many meetings, and Emily worked diligently with you, Supervisor, and received $5.2 million of funding that no other board ever has, right? So for me, this is a win, it's successful, and there's a blueprint to get that next person there. If they get the 10 million or not, the blueprint is there to build it. And the town has never had that. Before, it was just a pie in the sky, and everyone thought sewer was gonna be free. Infrastructure is not free. I mean, Belfield, I mean, you know how much infrastructure. I say, hey, get the shovel in the ground, and you should be saying, you should see what's in the ground, right? You know, I was always waiting for that response back, and thank you that you didn't. But, you know, it's a win. So congratulations on where you got that district to. And it was up to those 110 property owners to say yes or no. So congratulations to you, Emily, and everyone else involved in that project. So thank you.
Thanks. Well said. And you know, those engineering studies, all that, those plans, they exist. They're available. That's not wasted work. And so they're right on the town's website. They're a downtown initiative. It's very complicated stuff. I learned a tremendous amount. Earth science was never my favorite class. And I now love water tables and drainage. But
Luckily, we had Emily.
she was a great teacher. Yeah, thanks for that high five on that, Ken. I do feel like it was a success because people now are knowledgeable. And it's whenever you spend money, it's about a cost comparison, right? And so people have the choice. Can I invest in my septic system? And the answer is yes, you can, and also facilitate development that way. And, part of the obstacle really is the Department of Health has pretty strict standards on expansion areas required, and that's a whole nother issue that development faces. But at the end of the day, I do think that, there are many ways that we can make this town enhanced and more beautiful and higher functioning, and sewer is one way, the most expensive way. So, where are we on that? And so then we do have these other projects, the MIG all-inclusive playground at Hackett Hill. That was Neil's grant that he wrote along with Laura, and that's moving ahead. And the $170,000 county award, it's $120,000 from the town sources. We are leaving a very robust unassigned fund balance, so the town board can make that choice later on, whether they want to take the funds from the rec trust or maybe take it out of the unassigned fund balance. That's an option for that project. And, that was one of the most responsive, the post that we received the most responses on. People are really excited about that project. And so that's going forward. Our 2021 Dinsmore Park project is going forward. We authorized that to go out to bid, and we did apply for Beck Park for improved basketball courts. And so one of the projects that is left hanging out there, but we're hopeful, is the town hall addition. John Golden donated $1 million. We do have $1 million that we transferred into the assigned appropriated fund balance to create that ADA compliance finally for this town hall. Way past, I don't know when ADA requirements were adopted.
George Bush.
Quite a while ago.
When was that, like
George Bush.
1954?
Bob Dole got it.
So anyway, we're hopeful that that project will continue and that the new board embraces that improvement. And we do have a couple other grant applications out there to Historic Main Street Pedestrian Project and the CFA application to update the comprehensive plan. And, just there's so much that we could talk about. Having been here for 10 years, it's one of those things where, nothing changes and then all of a sudden everything is different. And I think we got used to that stability, and I really am hopeful that the new board will embrace the philosophies that we have also embraced. And just one final thought, one of our issues in Hyde Park is that the entire board turns over every 2 years. That really makes life hard for everyone. It makes it hard for the staff because that's not predictable. It makes it hard for residents because government is complicated. It takes a long time to learn. And so if the entire board has the opportunity to turn over, it's not really conducive to good government. And so Hyde Park is unique in the sense that we have a ward system, and when you have some of the other municipalities who don't have wards, they are able to stagger their terms, so the whole board doesn't turn over. All the seats are not up at once. So I think it would be really wise for a future town board to consider, there's two options. If you wanted to remove the ward system and go to an at-large system where it's just the top 4 vote getters, then you would be able to stagger the terms. But if you want to keep the ward system, where I think that was changed in the 1970s in response to folks on the eastern part of town feeling that they lacked representation, they adopted the ward system. So if people wanted to keep that, I really would advise that the supervisor's term be 4 years, or the wards go to 4 years, because it's just running every 2 years. It's not conducive to stability and all the things that we want in local government. So that's kind of my parting words. But actually, we're still working on the 28th. So I won't bore you again with it that time, but it really has been such an honor and pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay, so. can we
I don't
have-
want to close right now.
Well, we need to, but thank you.
Well, I know, but I just want to say, the reason I'm sitting here tonight is, and for the last 8 years, is because of Aileen Rohr, and also Michael Dupri, who, I saw how the board was before we came to office, before they came to office, and it was a mess, we all have to admit that. But everything has been open and honest and shown to me, and they guided me through everything. Whatever they recommended, I just rubber stamp, because they know what they're doing. And it's been such a pleasure working for her, and for Joe Marine and Kenny Schneider, who were here in the beginning, and Emily was here. And then we welcome Neil and Stephen, and great people, all for Hyde Park. And it's okay if Hyde Park stays little for a while, too. I remember when it was very little, Aileen, and I've known every supervisor for a long time. You're the best, no doubt about it. You are the best. Love you, I'm gonna miss you.
I miss you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I'm not
Really
going,
touching.
I'm not going to say goodbye, because this is not goodbye for us, but there's several people that I look out in the audience here that has really made my job over the past 10 years amazing. And first, it starts with you, Aileen. I mean, I have learned so much from you professionally, personally, and I thank you for that. And I really appreciate your friendship, and your leadership has been impeccable. And Donna, thank you for the 10 years of sitting on this board with us. Donna has always said her position is so non-political, and she's really made me feel that way a lot of times. So thank you, Donna, for your guidance. I really appreciate that. Howie, you have been an amazing highway superintendent for the 4 years and the 30 years that you were a highway employee. You have made that transition seamlessly. You have done a great job for this town and for me as a town board, but as a resident. I want to thank you for your dedication and all that you do. You are really a gem and an amazing highway superintendent, and it's really been a pleasure working alongside of you, so thank you. Chief Benson, it was one of my greatest honors in life, having you become from OB to lieutenant to chief and allowing me to pin that badge on you. It was an emotional time for me. I'm getting like Aileen crying about it.
Waterworks.
You know, there's, we have pictures of you with our family, like my kids going on the DARE program with you, and it was like the perfect game, right? And it was a perfect game. You know, it was, my daughter and my wife went on a DARE field trip, and David Cohn threw a perfect game, and we were there for that. And your leadership and your friendship and your guidance, it was a great honor being a liaison over there, and thank you. And this is not goodbye for us either. And I see Bob Linville in the back, who, Bob was a great mentor. Bob was gracious and allowed me to take over towards the night before Christmas. That was his job always. I'm going to miss that. And Bob was amazing. Emily, this woman here is amazing. She is a mom, a wife, she was a law student, she was a town board member, she was the deputy, she did it all, and our paths would have never crossed, and I'm so glad they did, because what you showed me, what you could do, inspired me, and I really thank you for your leadership and guidance, and I know that you were really Supervisor's right hand, and you were really missed when you left, and luckily we got Neil, but you were not replaceable, and I thank you. And then we have Michael Dupri, who tirelessly on the planning board has continuously moved this town forward. He takes the bruisings that we're anti-business, or we're good for business, or we do this and we don't do that. And Michael, you just stay steadfast, and the projects that we're able to get done in Hyde Park with Belfield or Stop and Shop or any other project is always top-notch because of your dedication, because of your leadership. You're really an amazing asset to this town, and this man really puts actions and puts a lot of work under his boots, and I'm always inspired and in awe with you, Michael, and thank you. So thank you for allowing me to serve for 10 years.
So, one thing, you never want to follow Ken Schneider.
Oh,
No, that's right.
He's a really hard act to follow.
I'm leaving right now.
And I
We
hope,
call him the voice.
and, you know, I hope Team Hyde Park can be as difficult
Yes.
an act to follow as Ken Schneider. But
Right.
really, it's hard to just really describe what wonderful feelings in this room
Oh.
tonight. And, you know, I think sometimes it's like, this was a social experiment for 10 years. Can we really all get along for 10 years? And we did. It was beautiful. No, really. I mean, it's constant problems and constant, you know, there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of balancing. It's constant balancing of needs, right? You know, personal property rights versus the rights of neighbors, business versus residents, or, you know, balancing the expenses with the tax, the need for, to control taxes. So, but I think it was a really successful social experiment. I mean, just all the really great relationships and friends and good feelings, and, you know, it's just, thank you all for coming, and thank you for being part of Hyde Park and voting us in. And I'm going to stop now. Neil, did you want to say?
I mean, like you said, following Ken Schneider and following you is, it's just not fair. But all I can say is that it's been an honor to serve all of you and all of the people watching on Channel 22 and later on YouTube and forever and forever. And it's just been such an honor to serve with all of you up here on the dais. I've learned so much. It's been a ride. It has definitely been a ride. And we got a lot done.
Yeah, we
And
did.
I'm very proud of it. And I'll always cherish these moments. And I'm just so glad to be able to do something to help my community.
Steve, you gotta go now, too.
I gotta go now.
Thanks
Thanks a lot. The new guy has to go after 10 years. When Teresa and I moved here in 2012 and bought our house, this was the board. You guys were the board. And just in those years since then, I have seen improvements in Hyde Park. I grew up in Stanfordville, and driving through Hyde Park, you know, Hyde Park was Hyde Park. And just the improvements seen in the past 10 years of what we've gained, and the beauty of Hyde Park is there. And with projects coming in, with Belfield, the new hospice spot over there on 9G, I mean, we might not want a Dollar General, but when a Dollar General goes in, it's probably the best looking Dollar General I've ever seen. And it's all because of the dedication and hard work that I'm getting emotional, guys, that we sit up here and do, and it's the dedication of the volunteers. You know, I was on the rec board of commissions, the commission, and the volunteers for the planning board and the zoning board. It's the dedication that folks of Hyde Park have to keeping Hyde Park, and unique in its own sense. I think you guys, and then I tagged on to the end, did an amazing job, and I'm hopeful that the next future of the town boards, because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, that they can continue the good work that we've started, and that's what it's about. It's about continuing the good work that people before you have done, and not to go backwards. We don't want to go backwards. No one wants to go backwards. But I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to sit here and learn even more about local governments. That way, when I sit down and have a conversation with family and friends and wondering why things don't get done, and I can sit here and say, it takes a long time for things to get done in government. In private sector, it's very easy. In government, it takes a long time and a while. So thank you for allowing me to join. Thank you to the public for allowing me to be your ward councilman. And you haven't seen the last of me because I'm here and I'm involved in the town. So thank you very much.
Certainly a pleasure. So, yeah, again, just thank you to all the residents and the staff, and to our wonderful town
Yes.
attorney, Warren. Dedication. We spent our first Christmas holiday the entire week working on the SPCA contract. So it's been wonderful. So, okay, well, wishing everyone the happiest of holidays, Happy New Year, healthy and prosperous, and gosh, hopefully this COVID thing can go away soon. But again, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
Hold on one second.
Can I
Oh,
just
sorry,
say something?
Joanna.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Smack. It's very hard to go and say something after each of you have expressed what I've been feeling. And working for the town for 35 years, it amazes me when I look back at this administration and see what you've accomplished in 10 years. I think Aileen pointed out about how it's not good government to have a change every 2 years. And that's very noticeable through the time that I've been here. And I truly appreciate everything you guys have done for this town. I love my town, and I want to see it look nice. I want people to like being in their town, to volunteer, to make the town a better place. And I think each of you have done that, and I just truly am thankful. Aileen, I love you to death. You've become such a great friend. We've known each other for a lot of years. We went to the school together. We graduated FDR. We remember times back in the 60s and 70s.
You remember those?
Yeah, I do.
You're just kids.
And how we loved to ride our bikes up and down the town on the sidewalks, how important it was for us to get around that way. And I'm glad that you've taken the initiative to make our town walkable again, or riding a bike again along the sidewalks, and connecting, one business to another. So I just want to give you a gift of my appreciation. So if you want to come down. one way for you to remember all the great things you've accomplished for our town.
Thank you. Little girls from Hyde Park. Well, thank you, Joanne. Thank you for your kind words and your support, and we've had some good times here, right?
You get to retire.
We do. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, everyone, I'm sure. I'll be sorry a little bit later.
Can I just say thank you to one more person before we close?
Sure.
Brendan, thank you for serving at the county for us as well. You did an amazing job there representing the town of Hyde Park. Your leadership and your guidance and direction is going to be missed there, and I'm sorry to see you go there, but thank you for your service to Hyde Park, really. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. All right, so, got to say special thank you to Caroline. She's dedicated.
She is.
Beyond belief, so, yeah. Okay, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And we promise we won't do this again on.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone, for coming
Thanks for
out.
coming,
Thank
everybody.
you.
See you all.